we are Cristina Fuentes and Melanie Lizana.
Hello.
And this is the analysis of our lesson in the Access Program. The Access Program is a 2-year scholarship given by the U.S. Embassy all over the world in more than 80 countries. Here the students learn not only English but also the American culture and traditions. The students we taught are between 14 and 16 years old. They were a group of 9 students from different schools and with different levels of English.
This video has 4 moments of the class we taught. 2 of them are about the positive aspects we found in the class, and the last 2 are the moments we consider were weaker during the session. The first video shows one of the activities we prepared for the class. Here, what we consider as a strength is the activity's instructions. As you could see, the teacher asks the student to read the instructions, and then she explains them and finally asks them some questions to verify if students understood the activity.
So, now we will do some exercise regarding this vocabulary. Jochen, can you read the instructions, please?
You will be listening to some songs. Listen to some warning first. And the vocabulary listen to the audio and
Classify
words according to the linguistic style. Which word define
Okay, so now you will have this worksheet, and you have here in the worksheet all the vocabulary we already explained. But first you will have to listen to some examples to classify the words. Do you understand? So, Solange, what do you have to do in this activity? Perfect. And Daniel, do you know how much time do you have to do the activity?
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes to do this activity. Okay? So, we will play the song and you will classify the vocabulary.
You must know that one genre can have more than one word, and that word can be repeated in other genres. Okay?
Yes.
So the first genre is rock.
Clear instructions are a crucial part in the class session. According to Scrivener 2005, in the book Learning Teaching, in the chapter 5 of Classroom Management, states all the steps to give clear instructions, and their importance at the end remains in getting concrete evidence from students that they know what is required. This can be done by asking 2 or more students to tell you what are going to do. So, before I start doing this activity in the class, we asked Solange what the activity was about, and she gave me the correct answer by saying all the actions required in the activity.
Furthermore, the same author points out that you need to get clear information about what students have taken in. And a proper way to do this is by getting students to demonstrate their understanding. Also, in the same video, we can appreciate the use of comprehension checks, questions that are used to make sure that students understood the activity. According to Gass and McKay, 2007, in the book Input, Interaction and Output in Second Language Acquisition, comprehension checks are expressions that are used to verify that an interlocutor has understood. For example, the question, "Did you understand?"
Another successful part of our lesson was the closure, which we consider was quite good because we make questions to students about what was learned during the class, the new contents they learned, and the activities that were done. And they were able to answer all those questions. Finally, when we showed again the objectives of the class and asked them if they believed they achieved the objectives after the session, they answered in a positive way, which demonstrates that our class was successful.
Richards and Rinandia, 2002, in their book Methodology in Language Teaching, an Anthology of Current Practice, stated that during the closure the teacher checks what the students have learned by asking questions such as "What did you learn?" and "How did you feel about these activities?" In that way, the teacher can verify that the teaching-learning process was successful.
In the words. I have some comments about of your performance. You did great. It was a really easy activity, so you all participated. I'm glad you all speak too. So, what's how do you pronounce this word?
Cheerful.
Cheerful. And the other word was, how do you pronounce that word?
Lively.
Lively. No, not lively. Lively.
Lively.
So, Felipe, what did you learn today?
I learned more vocabulary.
Okay.
The different terms of the music.
Okay, perfect. So, Evelyn, what did you learn today? Do you have any comments?
Never.
And you?
I didn't know days.
Days? Have you heard it?
I know.
Okay. So, do you think that we achieved this objective?
Yeah.
Yes? So, perfect. So, you all have no. Have a nice week, guys. Thank you very much. Our class is over.
Now we are going to analyze the weaker areas in our lesson. The first point that we could identify was the fact that we did not have enough knowledge to explain the content or give definitions when students asked for. We had two situations like this, but only one was recorded.
Yes, did you understand what old-fashioned is? Old-fashioned is, for example, something that is not popular nowadays. That people don't use it, don't wear it, don't like it because it's from the past.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Funny.
I don't know, skirts, female skirts are old-fashioned when they are up to this part. They are really long and with uh, really sad colors. They are old-fashioned, okay? They are not fashionable. So, from this point...
First of all, Lightbound and Spada, in 2006, in the book How Languages Are Learned, expressed that we can communicate by using words that are not placed in the proper order or not pronounced perfectly, but communication often breaks down if we do not use the correct word. As a consequence, we experience this problem by not being able to find the correct words to explain a particular concept, and that led to a problem in the learning process of the student, because he or she would not be able to neither understand the content nor learn it.
A proper way to improve this aspect is by thinking of each word you're going to teach or use in the class. So you, as a teacher, will be prepared in the case your student asks you about the meaning and the use. So you as a teacher can provide a clear explanation and good examples. As a backup plan regarding the situation, we have that the teacher can use the mother tongue in order to make sure that students successfully understood the concept and its meaning. Finally, the last weakness we found was the absence of challenging activities in the class. We realized about it during the class because the students finished so fast their activities, and also because they told us that although they enjoyed the class more than others, it was really easy. So, according to Scrivener 2005, in the same book, says that teachers often have rather limited expectations about what people can do. He suggests that we must keep the level of challenge high in the activities by believing that the students can do more that they are aware of being able to do.
Consequently, after a long research and study, we think that all classes must be focused on the I+1 input hypothesis of Krashen 1982 in the book Principles and Practice in Second Language Acquisition. This hypothesis is about students acquiring only when understanding the language they are exposed to, but just when this language goes a little beyond of their current level of competence. So, the way in which we believe this could be improved is by planning better our lesson activities, being based on the age of the students and their level of English, and also looking for demanding activities that challenge our students to use the language in a more complex way so they can go further in the language learning.
After this experience, we can say as a final reflection that this opportunity has helped us to understand the role of the teacher in a deeper way, because we as students just see one side of the coin regarding teaching a class. But now we know that the teacher must be fully prepared in order to confront all the possible situations that could happen inside the classroom. Moreover, the way we see the teacher's role after this experience goes beyond from what theory states. The teacher as a guide, as a counselor, as a facilitator of the learning process, but more important, as a professional that must find a balance between active and passive roles within the classroom.
The student's role inside the classroom is not just being passive. In fact, learning is a process of personal growth, so students are responsible for their own process of learning. We have always been students, so our point of view regarding this topic was always oriented to what we as students are expected to do rather than what we must do in order to learn our second language. Thus, taking into account our interest on the second language. So we have always criticized the teacher's role without being in that role. So this experience has helped us to realize about aspects of the teacher we did not have into consideration before, as for example all the time, work and preparation teachers should have in order to teach a class. Thanks to this activity, we could finally get rid of second thoughts regarding our future profession.